As we step into the final month of 2024, it is the perfect time to embrace your role as the CEO and the visionary of your business. This means carving out time for a year-end review to vision and plan 2025. Because let's face it, life moves fast. It's easy to feel like you're spinning your wheels, doing all the things, but not gaining the traction or making the impact that you truly desire. Strategic planning helps us zero in on what matters most so we can align our actions with our purpose and create the results we're here to achieve. Did you know that entrepreneurs with a clear plan are twice as likely to succeed? That's right, 2 times. So, in today's episode, I'm walking you through 5 common mistakes to avoid when creating your annual plan. These are the traps that can hold you back from the clarity, momentum, and success you're capable of. So, let's dive in and get you set up for self-led success in 2025. Welcome to Herself, a space for women to have deep conversations about the intersection between spiritual entrepreneurship and fulfilling your potential, so you can become the woman you truly are in every area of your life. After being in business for over 2 decades, I've learned, as you likely have too, that as you grow your business grows you in unexpected, often challenging, yet miraculous ways. Here, we'll talk about how to get out of your own way so you can grow a business that's abundant and sustainable while allowing you to be a force for good in the world. I'll give you simple, actionable strategies as well as wisdom and inspiration to help you root into your wholeness, lead from your values, and work in ways that feel deeply aligned so you can bring your true self into the world through your business and in every area of your life.
Happy December, friends. Can you believe it? We are already at the end of 2024. This has been quite a year for all of us. And while the start of New Year on January 1st is, of course, an arbitrary demarcation of time, I sense that we're all quite ready to turn the page, to clear the slate, hit the reset button, whatever metaphor you want to use. I know that I am looking forward to doing it. It's been a year of highs and lows and everything in between, both individually and collectively. And as we are stepping into December, this is truly my favorite time of year. That stretch between my birthday at the end of November, the solstice, which is my favorite day of the year, of course, Christmas, New Year's, really this whole Yule season. It feels like the veils are thinner between the worlds. It's a time of deep yin energy, of deep feminine energy for dreaming, for visioning, for going deep, and then re-emerging in a more clarified, revitalized way. As a business owner, one of my favorite ways to do this is through taking time each December to review the year that has passed and really extract the lessons from it, really get clear, just at a really just nitty-gritty level, like I'm looking at my calendar. What do I not want to have on my calendar next year? What do I want to have on my calendar more next year? Visioning the years that's to come, and also creating a nitty-gritty plan for that. Literally putting on my calendar what I'm doing month by month, and for me, even week by week. I do that very, very far in advance. And while that might seem restrictive, it does actually give me more freedom and more space and allows me to be the intentional creator of my life so that I really ensure I'm taking the time off that I want and need to. I really make sure that my days and weeks are flowing the ways that I want to, and that I have time and space to complete my most important projects and goals. So being super intentional, because life is short and life can often feel very full and fast. And if we don't do this, we can easily get bogged down by busy work or by just curveballs that come our way or distractions that we get caught up in. And this also helps us to feel like we're not doing all the things as a business owner and not gaining the traction or not having the impact or the results that we want at the end of the year. It helps us feel like we're doing what we know we were put on this earth to do. So it takes planning, it takes foresight, and then it takes deep intentionality to follow that plan. And studies have shown, they're speaking loud and clear, that entrepreneurs with a plan are twice as likely to succeed. Yes, that's 2 times more likely. So this is so critical. And today I want to talk you through 5 mistakes that you want to make sure you're not making when you do your own annual planning. And this will set you up for more self-led success in 2025. All right, you ready? The first mistake, and maybe you can guess this, the first mistake is not having a plan at all. This is the fly by the seat of your pants approach to running a business and living your life. And it's not one that I recommend at all. You are so busy working in your business that you end up having no time to work on your business. You're wearing all the hats, doing all the things, and you are just doggy paddling, trying to keep your head above water. And as a result, you don't have the time or the mental clarity to step back and carve out some intentional space to do some strategic planning and thinking. So in this scenario, you are not taking time to be the visionary in your business. You're not taking time to be the CEO of your business. You're not taking time to be a strategic thinker, to be a project planner, all of which are really, really crucial roles for you to play. So don't make the mistake of not setting aside any time at all to do this. Ideally, it's a couple of days, at the very least a day, or if you have really minimal time, even half a day is going to help. Okay, so the second mistake is creating the plan, but then not following it. And one of the ways that this can happen is that you create your plan and you write it down in a place that kind of gets lost somewhere, like the last page in an old journal ends up out in your garage in a plastic bin gathering dust. So you write it down somewhere, but you never visit it again. You don't even really know where it is. I really want to emphasize that an annual plan is a living, breathing entity in your business. And I recommend having it on something like a Google Doc. I love writing on Google Docs. But of course, something like a Word doc would be fine too. But ideally, having it be digital so you can go back to it. It's on your computer, it's on your cloud, and you're going back each week when you do your weekly planning sessions, which I hope you're doing too. And during those, you're looking back at your annual goals. And even daily, before you start work, just reviewing those goals, even just glancing at them to remember them and to see where you are in relationship to them so that every action you take is linking back to those larger goals. Now, I also want to name that creating a plan and writing it down does not mean that it's set in stone. That's why something like a digital document helps because it can make changing it and tweaking it more fluid. Of course, curveballs are going to come in 2025. They come every year. Of course, plans are going to shift. And you are going to need to adapt your annual plan accordingly. But as long as you're reviewing it and it's in kind of a living document, that's going to be super easy to do. So the first step after creating the plan, of course, is to write it down. And then you can make sure that your quarterly, your monthly, your weekly, and even your daily goals and action steps line up with those annual goals. All right, so the third mistake that I don't want you to make is setting too many goals. We could say that this would be a top-down approach to planning, or in IFS speak, it's a parts-led approach to planning. Maybe a taskmaster part, a perfectionist part, a highly ambitious or aspirational part of you has taken over and is creating your plan for the year. And as a result, they are setting an unreasonable number of goals that end up scaring other parts of you away, or that other parts of you are not on board with. For instance, parts of you who like to move at a slower pace, parts of you who know that you need more time off, parts of you who like to focus on fewer things, but to do so with better focus and higher quality. So in your business, I really wouldn't set more than 3 to 5, maybe up to 7, but I like to stay between 3 and 5. Ideally, if I can make it just 3 big goals for the year, that's about the maximum number that you can realistically take on. So I really believe that less is more. In every case, maybe I should say most cases, and certainly in this case. So when you are creating your plan, you want to make sure that you are letting your wholeness lead, that you're doing so in collaboration with all of your inner selves, that they're on board with this. And it's something that they can all support you with, because if you don't get the buy-in of all of your parts, you guessed it, you're not going to make it to your destination. You're going to be tangled up in these inner battles, these inner conflicts between your parts. And that's just going to create a ton of headwind and hold you back. So fulfilling your destiny by doing the work that you are put on this earth to do requires that you do that from your wholeness. And it doesn't mean we do it 100% of the time. That's not realistic for being human, but that we notice, okay, when parts have taken over, and how can we get them to step back? How can we let our true self lead? And especially when it comes to annual planning. So the universe wants us to become whole. And I really invite you to let your planning process of how you're going to spend your precious time and life force energy next year reflect that, because we don't know how long we have left in each of our lives. And what if 2025 is the last year of your life? How do you want to spend it? How will you feel that you have given all that you have with all that you've been given, and that you've really been rooting into your wholeness again, which is what life wants for you? As a little girl, I loved playing school, and my favorite part was writing on a chalkboard with a fresh piece of white chalk. Today, my teacher's heart lives on, only now, instead of teaching with chalkboards, I make sure my online programs are stored and shared in the most organized, intuitive way possible. For the past few years, I've used Kajabi for this. It's heads and tails above any other online course platform that I've used since I first started teaching online back in 2008. Not only does Kajabi host all of my online programs, it also hosts all my program web pages and opt-in pages. It even hosts the private student-only podcasts I share inside my programs. Plus, it's easy for me and my team to use, and most importantly, it's easy for my students to use. I love it. If you're looking to up-level, streamline, and beautify things in your own business, whether it's how you deliver your online courses, create web pages, or even host your entire website, I invite you to enjoy a free 30-day trial with Kajabi, which is one of the sponsors for this podcast. You can click the link in the show notes to get started with your free 30-day trial. If you're like me, you'll be so happy you did. The only downside is no chalk is involved. The fourth mistake not to make when doing your annual planning is setting all of your goals inside your comfort zone. Now, I know that this one might sound like it contradicts the third mistake that I just shared, but listen up. Yes, we want all of our parts to be on board, and we want to set less rather than more goals for the year so that we don't diffuse our focus and we're taking on a realistic workload. But we also want to stretch. We also want to have a BHAG in there. So let me explain what I mean by BHAG. Jim Collins and Jerry Porras coined the term big, hairy, audacious goals, BHAG, in their book called Built to Last: Successful Habits of Visionary Companies. So BHAG is a long-term goal that's very ambitious and seems nearly impossible to achieve. For example, President John F. Kennedy's 1961 goal of landing a man on the moon before the end of that decade was most definitely a BHAG. So Collins and Porras generally recommend setting a 25-year time frame for achieving a BHAG, but you could also plan for, say, the next 5 to 10 years and be ready to adapt as needed. But the essential point of a BHAG is to stimulate forward progress, create momentum, and get people excited. And what's most important about it is that it requires that you think in new ways. And we all know that if you do the same things you've always done, you'll get the same things that you already have. So, this is another reason why we really want to take intentional, even retreat space time to step out of the day to day, to turn off our technology, and to really turn on our strategic thinking and our visionary capacities, which I know if you're listening to this, you have in spades. So, if you really want growth, change, brilliance, expansion in your life and in our world, you need to think bigger. Because when you think bigger, it also calls you to act bigger. It calls you to do things that you don't normally do. It calls you to step outside of your comfort zone. So, BHAGs help you to grow and evolve as a person and as a business owner. And I have heard so many business owners who have achieved very high levels of success say that the key to success is really being able to take risks. And even that the more risks you take, the more money you'll make, the more impact you'll have. So as you're creating your year-end goals, consider your own BHAGs for the longer view and also for 2025. Now, this isn't necessarily about achieving them, although if you do, that's fantastic. But again, it's more about you shaking things up and seeing who you need to be, what you need to do, what decisions you need to make, what you need to invest in, who do you need to get in the room with to even bring those goals into the realm of possibility. So think bigger, stretch further, get outside of your comfort zone. And the fifth and final mistake that I don't want you to make in your annual planning is doing it all alone. Because when we do it all alone, there's no accountability, there's no tussle, there's no challenge. You're just doing your thing inside your individual silo, your echo chamber of one, with all of your blind spots, all of your limited thinking, all of your habitual behaviors with your comfort zone. So, new levels of success and greatness require accountability, require being coachable. I cannot emphasize enough how important feedback is. I know that I'm always seeking coaching to see how is this landing page? How is the copy on this website homepage? What do you think about this strategic plan for this launch? We need to get feedback and reflection from other people. So when you're doing this, it allows you to do some fine tuning with your plan. And it allows you to take it from good to great. And masterminding and getting in the room with other high level women is hugely important for this. Seeing what other women business owners are up to, being inspired by them, seeing where do you feel a little envious? Because that's often a sign, oh, that's something that my soul wants me to be leaning into. Asking, how can I do something like what she's doing, but in my own way? Or we see, oh, wow, she's really going for it. She's really stretching. How could I do that? Why am I not doing that? And even getting coaching on the plan. Does this seem like a solid plan? Does it seem like there's too much I'm trying to pack in here? Or am I shooting too close to myself? Am I not shooting far enough? So, and then having the ongoing accountability to help you stick with the plan, to remember to return to it, to review it, to refine it, to tweak it when curveballs inevitably come, to chunk it down into actionable steps that you can do each day of the year. Because we all know how it goes when you create a plan and then set to follow it on your own. It usually doesn't work, right? Bumps in the road come. You get overwhelmed and discouraged. You start to believe your own limited thinking and you abandon it. You get stuck back in the day-to-day of putting out fires and just dealing with things as they come rather than being the intentional creator of your business and your life. And you're back in the place of operating as if you had no plan that you created at all. And then your destination starts to feel further away, starts to feel more and more unreachable, and you start to feel more and more discouraged and frustrated because you feel like you're still missing the mark. You're not doing what you really want to be doing and serving through the craft that you know is your destiny. So let's not do that, my friends, okay? All of those feelings are normal. Yes, all of those feelings are a part of the entrepreneurial process, but they are not the final destination. Let's be intentional creators. Let's be the visionary female leaders that we are. Let's be strategic thinkers. Let's be thorough planners. And let's be encouraging cheerleaders and supporters of one another as we think and act bigger, as we stretch outside of our comfort zones. So we need to put ourselves in the room ongoingly with other successful women to help hold us accountable to our dreams. If you want to put yourself in a room like this, a virtual room like this with other women, I invite you to my 2-day virtual year-end retreat, Design Your Dream Business in 2025. This is an IFS-based business retreat to support you in avoiding all of these mistakes so that you can create a sustainable, profitable, and sacred business you love in the year ahead. And you guessed it, it starts with a plan. So I will lead you through my 5-part framework over these 2 days so that by the end of it, you will walk away in your hand or on your computer with a self-led, detailed, doable, inspiring 12-month success map for you to follow throughout 2025. And you will have a chance to workshop it with me, to get my feedback, to get the feedback of the other women there, as well as to get laser coaching on any elements of it that are needing to be clarified or amplified, or any parts of you that are coming up along the way, maybe creating some roadblocks. So you can create this aspirational, doable plan with feedback, with support, with reflection, with community. To learn more and to join us, you can go to programs-sarahavaughnstover.com/retreat. That's programs-sarahavaughnstover.com/retreat. And that link is also in the show notes. So let's revamp, or let's review rather these 5 mistakes again. Number 1, you don't create a plan at all. Number 2, you create a plan, but you don't follow it. Number 3, you set too many goals. Number 4, you set all your goals inside your comfort zone. And number 5, you do it all alone and you are lacking feedback and accountability. And I ask you, my friend, which of these mistakes have you been most prone to make, or did you make this past year? And I ask you, how did that turn out for you? Are you happy with how that turned out or not? Each year is a chance to up level. Remember, if you want different results in your business, you need to become the next version of yourself who would do something different. And it all starts with creating the right plan, the plan that will allow you to unfold into the next up-leveled version of yourself who is leading the next up-leveled version of your business. It is also said, and this is worth noting, that 1 hour of planning saves 10 hours of implementation time. 1 hour of planning saves 10 hours of implementation time. That is significant. So if you want to work less and achieve more, which I think we can all raise our hands and say, yes, I want that. We need to carve out the time, roll up our sleeves, and create the plan that can hold you and your dreams well in 2025. And if you want my mentorship with this and to follow this proven 5-part framework as you create your plan within a supportive community of other soul-oriented women business owners, I welcome you to join us in the 2-day virtual Design Your Dream Business Retreat. Again, that's at programs-sarahavaughnstover.com/retreat. I created this 5-part retreat to guide you through the New Year's visioning process that I use and that I have refined over the past 20 years. And it will help you to not only cast a powerful vision for the year ahead, but also to make sure that all parts of both your inner and outer world are aligned with it. Because again, we need wholeness to fulfill our destinies. And as a result, you will work smarter, not harder, in the year ahead. So, dear ones, here's to all of us experiencing more blessings, more synchronicities, more miracles that will allow us to be our best selves and do our best work in 2025 and well beyond.
Thank you for joining me today. And remember, change doesn't come from listening alone. I invite you to commit to taking one small or large, courageous action after today's conversation. One step you can take, if you haven't already, is to sign up for my Sunday journal. It's a weekly newsletter filled with inspiration and reflections about the intersection between spiritual entrepreneurship and fulfilling your potential to help you become the woman you truly are in every area of your life. You can subscribe at programs-sarahavaughnstover.com/journal. And if you found this podcast valuable, please share it with the women in your world. Also, I'd be very grateful if you'd leave a review. It helps others find resources like this, and I'd love to hear what's coming alive for you after listening today. Above all, keep going, and never forget the unique offerings you and your true self bring to the world. Until next time, I'm sending you my heartfelt support.